Today, we are going to discuss our online database offering, PayNet. Before we jump in, it may be helpful to understand that Hay Group has recently launched an initiative to take 60-plus years of research and transform it into off-the-shelf tools and assessments. These products help you benchmark your package, develop your employees, and ultimately ensure that they are fully engaged. What's even better is that they are inexpensive compared to the traditional solutions, empowering you to maximize your budgets. Today, we're focusing specifically on the Pay Zone. The webinar will cover what is Hay Group PayNet, what jobs does it do, what does it include, what will you receive, and why clients choose Hay Group PayNet. So before we dive into a little more detail about PayNet, here is a quick polling question. Does your organization use an externally provided market data tool? So please go ahead and check your answer. All right, looks like we're getting responses now coming in. I'm going to wait a few more minutes so everyone has a chance to respond. Okay, so here we go. Oh, all right. Well, this is really helpful. It looks like quite a few of you do currently use an externally provided market data tool. So that's helpful. It's good information for us. It really helps us steer the discussion and gives us a good idea of what you already know about market data tools. So, launching into a little more detail about PayNet. PayNet is our online tool which provides access to all reward data in over 100 countries across all major sectors, geographies, and functions. As a quick overview, Hay Group is truly global. We have over 84 offices in 47 countries. We build our PayNet database locally and directly through the HR professional. This gives our clients the ability to benchmark against a great mix of multinational and local organizations and the comfort knowing that the data is reliable and valid. PayNet provides access to over 16,500 organizations, 15 million incumbents in over 100 countries around the world. So a few key features about the online tool. PayNet can be accessed anytime, 24/7. Each client has their own unique username and password. The tool is very easy to use and gives you the ability to query based on industry, geography, revenue, number of employees, or a personalized peer group. One of the important and unique features of PayNet is that it's globally consistent. Hay Group has spent the past 7 years building a globally consistent job model, reward aggregates, and a total remuneration methodology. This allows for meaningful comparison between markets and around the world. The slide you're seeing now shows you an overview of our market data coverage worldwide. This is just a quick look, as you will receive the presentation after, and you can more thoroughly review the country list. I am now going to turn it over to my colleague Kate, who will be going through our methodology and why clients choose Hay Group PayNet.
Thanks, Amanda. Hi, everyone. Well, the first slide that we're taking a look at just shows you it's a visual that describes the various ways of retrieving market data versus the client time commitment, which is displayed on the y-axis, and the value add that's displayed on the x-axis. And if we take a look in the lower left corner, you'll see job title matching. This is low commitment, low value add because, as we know, job titles can mean very different things within different organizations. And as we move up, the next one is job status or hierarchical matching, which also doesn't get to the root of the job with an actual job description. And then if we go to the top right corner, we have job evaluation, which is a big commitment from the client, but also adds a lot of value to the organization. And then if we kind of take a step back and we look right in the middle, you're going to see job matching with descriptions or market pricing, along with job mapping, which is a structured approach using evaluated or leveled job descriptions. And both of these approaches are supported through PayNet and backed by Hay Group's unique and robust methodology. And they provide quite a bit of value to the organization. So before we go further, we'd like to ask another polling question to the group. And that is, does your organization have international operations? And we'll go ahead and give everyone a few seconds to generate those results, respond to that question. Okay. Well, that's also very good information to have. So we want to take a little bit of a deeper dive into PayNet and talk about what's included in PayNet. And there are two modules that are available through the PayNet platform. The first one is what we call PayNet National, which is beneficial for regional or local HR managers that are looking for in-depth local market data. There's a need to understand local compensation aggregates, such as allowances that might be offered in a specific country, as well as the need to take a look at both globally consistent jobs and jobs that might be local or specific to that country. PayNet National is available in over 80 countries. The other option that's available is what we call PayNet International, and PayNet International is geared towards organizations that are regionally or centrally organized, looking for a globally consistent set of jobs and compensation aggregates. In addition, PayNet International provides the ability to run cross-country comparisons. So an example, if you were taking a look at an engineer in China and Germany and in the U.S., you'd have the ability within PayNet International to compare those salaries side by side. In addition, PayNet International includes our landscape module, which provides reward trends in 65 countries. And if we take a further look into PayNet International, the database is segmented into different levels of access, which really allows for the client to customize the subscription based on their needs. And what we mean by that is we've got core data, which would provide access to professional managerial jobs. Then there's senior roles, which would provide access to those top-of-the-house positions. So if your organization only has a few executives in a country, or maybe you only have a sales force in a country, you can decide which level of service you'd like to subscribe to, either core data or senior roles. As well as PayNet International, again, includes a landscape which provides a summary of reward trends along with salary movements and forecasts for over 65 countries. So in summary, PayNet International provides access to the world's first global total remuneration methodology. It's interactive to all levels of employee data, covering millions of incumbents. It's built based on a globally consistent set of jobs and compensation aggregates in over 70 countries, with the ability to do those cross-country comparisons relatively easily through the tool. And the next screen that we see here is a screenshot, and this is just showing you a sample of some of the selection criteria or some of the decision trees that you'd be making as you go through and build your query. And then the next is also a screenshot, and this is just showing you what the results look like when you access them through PayNet. And we also wanted to highlight that there are some interactions that can be done on the PayNet platform. So the results that are typically delivered through PayNet are core percentiles, so a 10th through 90th. But if your organization looks at the 65th percentile, or you want to add premiums and discounts, and what we mean by that is increase or decrease the data for a particular region or for particular job family, you can actually do that right through the PayNet platform, relatively easy. So we wanted to talk a little bit about what you receive with a PayNet subscription. So in addition to database access that meets your needs on a country-by-country basis, we provide a global account management team that's designed based on your organization's needs, whether that's central through headquarters, or if you're organized regionally, we can organize the team regionally as well. This team will consist of a global account manager as well as regional account managers and then local account managers that can provide the local expertise if that's what your organization needs for those countries. In addition, we provide data submission and job mapping assistance to take you through the submission process, as well as on the back end how you can compare yourselves to the data within PayNet. We provide a quick start guide for using PayNet, and we can also schedule webinars, local webinars, if that's what you require. And lastly, you're included in local sector events and networking events that might be happening in country, as well as you'll receive invites to spot surveys, newsletters that are also happening in the country. And we really pride ourselves on the account management platform that we provide to our clients, and we wanted to include some comments that we've recently received from our client, General Motors, for your review, and you can see those at the bottom of the slide here. So if we move on, we wanted to provide you with some examples of why clients choose PayNet. And this first example comes from a global industrial company with over 40,000 employees in 200 countries. And the issue that this organization was having was the executives were really struggling with the fact that they didn't have a consistent way of comparing jobs globally and needed to ensure that they were competitive in their global markets. And by subscribing to PayNet, the client was provided with an easy way to access globally consistent benchmark jobs across countries and regions. And PayNet also provided them with the in-depth market data that they needed to do their analyses. Through that PayNet Global Account Management platform that we spoke about, the client received the support they needed, and they're now able to better manage the movement of their talent across country and region. And lastly, by doing so, the client was able to centralize their subscription, and they saw some significant savings by centralizing all of the purchases through their headquarters here in the U.S. So that was one example that we thought would be interesting to share with you. If we go to the next slide, we have two additional examples that we wanted to share, and these are from two very different organizations. The first one is from a global retailer, a very large global retailer who needed to understand how their competitive position in the external market. And one of the main reasons why they chose Hay Group was because of our extensive retail databases that we have available around the globe. And the client found, one of the key outcomes of this example here is that the client found some time savings by having one contact within Hay Group that met their needs, as well as they really appreciated the fact that we offered a globally consistent set of data submission materials. So in order for them to submit their data, it was through one set of materials, and it was a relatively easy process for them. The second example is from a U.S. not-for-profit organization that was also, needing to understand where they stood in the external market, and they needed an international data provider. And one of the things here with this client is that they chose us because they saw the benefit in our global job mapping approach and the possibility of implementing that within their organization. This client also liked the idea of having a central approach to data submission through our global data submission materials and saw some significant time savings there. In addition, they really enjoyed the reward practices section that was included within the landscape module. And lastly, we wanted to show you just a sampling of some of the companies that Hay Group works with. You can see that they run the gamut from pharmaceutical to fast-moving consumer goods to financial organizations, so they're all across the board here. And before I turn it back over to Krista to address some of the Q&A that we've received during the session, I also wanted to let you know that right now we are in the process of QCing data for the 2012 databases, and those new databases will start to be released to the PayNet platform in August, and those updates will continue throughout the fall. So right now I'm going to turn it over to Krista, and we'll take a look at some of the questions that have come through the chat.
Thank you very much, Kate. And I wanted to just take another minute to thank Kate and Amanda for conducting today's presentation. Before we move on to the questions that you have asked during the webinar, I'd like to ask you to let us know if any of you would like a personalized demo of Hay Group PayNet. We'd be happy to go ahead and set that up for you. So if you could answer the question on the screen, I'll give you a few seconds, and then we'll move on to the Q&A. Give you a few more seconds to respond. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for your input on that. We'll make sure that either your Hay Group account manager or a member of our team follows up with you shortly to schedule a demo of PayNet. Now, there have been several questions that have come in from those of you on the call. The first question that several of you have asked was around receiving a copy of the slides that were presented today. After the webinar, you will receive a copy of the slides, which includes things like the list of countries where we have market data, as well as the contact information for Kate and Amanda if you'd like to ask them any questions once we're finished. But in terms of specific questions, the first question that has come through is, how many users can you have, and are there additional costs for additional users of PayNet?
Okay, I could take this one. Actually, we allow unlimited users, and there is no additional cost. So if you've got people in country that need access, we can provide them with access at no additional cost.
Okay, thank you, Kate. The next question that has come through is, can you manage user access for different countries?
Yeah, I can go ahead and take that. That's a great question. Yes, you can. You can really customize who you'd like to have access to the system and which countries you would like them to have access to. So that would be up to someone we would consider to be more of a super user or the main point person for the subscription.
Thank you, Amanda. And the last question that has come through today is, could you tell us a little bit more about the pricing of the databases for PayNet?
Sure, I can take this one as well. Pricing varies based on countries. If you are interested in learning more about pricing on PayNet, we're more than happy to have those discussions with you. We do offer volume discounting as well as multi-year agreement discounts, but it does range in price, and we can definitely discuss that with you based on your organization's needs for market data.
Thank you, Kate. And I think that about wraps up our Q&A session for today. Before we conclude the session, I'd like to ask you one additional question. I know Amanda had talked through all the areas of Hay Group's Atrium, and we'd like to ask, for those of you on the call, if you're interested in other areas that Hay Group can help you with, including our talent products, employee effectiveness products, and other pay products in addition to Hay Group PayNet. So if you could go ahead and answer this question, again, we will have somebody from our team reach out to you and get you the information that you need.